Hi guys, and welcome to this edition of Mike's RC Review. And before I forget, I wanted to say a big shout out to my new subscribers, Mike RC from Poland, hello to you. Advisor as well, and Matt, I'd like to say a big hello to you. You guys know who you are if you're watching the video, so thank you very much for subscribing, and thank you for supporting the channel. Each and every subscriber obviously makes a big difference, and for the better, so I can grow my channel. At the moment, I'm not sponsored by anybody, and obviously I'm buying all the products that I present to you guys. And the other thing is, even though I am doing this pretty much on a full-time basis, at the end of the day, every time I release a video, obviously everything's at my own expense, everything's at my own time, so I don't get paid for it. But it does warm my heart when people do subscribe, because I do this out of the love for the hobby, and obviously I do this to be able to help people just like you, because me watching videos of other YouTubers doing this exact hobby that we're doing has inspired me to obviously try and help others as well, as they have helped me, unbeknownst to them, because obviously they don't know me personally. But each and every video I watch from the people that I do watch, I learn a few things, and hopefully I can pass them on to you. Now, it's been roughly 3 months now since I started the crawling hobby, and you know, you do progress as long as you do devote the time and effort to it. As you guys know and are well aware, I started with a TRX4 Defender, which I still have. In fact, this is the chassis of it right now. If you hold on a moment, I'll grab the body, which is here. Now, I'm thinking of, I was thinking of actually getting rid of this, of auctioning it off on my eBay page, but I don't know, I think I'm having second thoughts, because I've grown to fall in love with the Defender. As you know and are well aware as well, I have started the new project, which is the LC70 Land Cruiser. And just to give you a comparison in size, I'm sorry I can't move it because it's just been painted. To give you a size comparison, it is a 1/10 scale as well, but without the roof racks and without the windows and without the flared arches fitted. At the moment, it still looks a little bit bare. Now, you do, if you watched my previous video of the LC70, you would have known that I was planning on painting this black. As I keep saying, sometimes it's a surprise, sometimes it's not. But I was planning on painting the whole thing black. But I just thought at the last moment I had a change of mind, because well, put it this way, if it was black, I think it would be something that you'd get sick of seeing on a daily basis. This is the first time I'm building a body from ground up. Obviously, I can also say I pretty much built this as well. I mean, a lot of people say that you only assemble these things, but I think you do build them because you put your own flair to it. Everything on this Traxxas rig has basically been changed apart from the chassis, which to do this build, I'm going to have to change the chassis as well, because I'm going to have to shorten it. Those that have watched the previous video will also know that the killer body LC70 body that I purchased was not intended for the TRX4. I purchased the DIY body, which means it's made for the axial SCX 1 through to 3, and also the Element RC Enduro, and a couple of other things like the I think the BRX1 from I forget their name, and also the Grande will also fit on this body. The one body it's not meant to, or the one chassis it's not intended for, is Traxxas, because there is a killer body LC70 specifically designed for the Traxxas TRX4. But in that instance, what I've done is, I guess I've set myself up for a bit of a challenge, because this one not being for the TRX4, I've been trying to ask Killer Body in Hong Kong numerous times whether this body would fit the TRX4, and if it does, what do I need to modify? Well, I've given them a chance to respond to my emails. They're just not one for communicating, I think, this company. And I think 3 or 4 emails after, and I still don't have a response. So I've given up. I guess it's a question that I will answer myself, because if this doesn't fit, I'm just going to have to sell it. And sell it to somebody who does have an SCX 10 axial or a Element RC Enduro. At least then I'll know the answer for sure. So it won't be a complete waste of time and effort, because, well, I've gained some experience in the spray painting part of the build. I do know how to build. It's just the painting part of it that used to daunt me and that used to intimidate me a fair bit. But now that I've completed the painting side of things, I guess it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I didn't paint that in full. That body there was, it's a Lexan body. So that body there was painted from Traxxas. The only parts I've painted on that was the black roof and the black hood, and also the black door at the back, to mimic the orange Adventure Edition Defender, but in yellow, obviously. But this one here is going to be something that I would have painted from ground up, and I'm hoping it will fit the Traxxas TRX4. But if it doesn't, I guess it'll be a little bit of a moneymaker, because I will just auction it off on eBay for somebody that wants a silver LC70 with a tray back in black, and also with the pickup body in silver, in body color. So as you can see, this video is just to showcase to you what has happened so far, and to update my viewers on what's happened since the last video. It's also to show you guys at what stage I'm up to. I guess at the moment, being COVID-19, being something that is still very much alive in Australia, in Victoria. It's something that has controlled our lives for the last 3 or 4 months. We've been locked down now for the last 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks now, and we've got another 3 or 4 weeks to go before the end of lockdown. And knock on wood, obviously by then they won't have to extend it again. But up till this point, even though where I live, we're only on stage 3, thank God, so we can still move around a little bit. We can still visit our local hardware stores and stuff like that. Our movements aren't relegated to just essential travel. But if you go 30 kilometers to the north of where I live, it is full lockdown. So stage 4 lockdown, meaning that the only traveling they're allowed to do is to and from work, if their work is deemed essential. That's for medical, and also the groceries field and a few others. But everything else, pretty much, even car trade, the automotive trade, which I used to come from, is completely locked down. For the first time in history that I know of, Ford dealerships are shut to sales. So it's very serious what's happened. But since that's happened, I guess I've had a lot more time at home to do this. So, it brings out the creativity in a lot of people, this hobby. And it's not a matter of, I've got a better vehicle than you, or you've got a better truck than me. In this hobby, I think if you're a serious hobbyist, and if you're a serious, crawler when it comes to this sort of hobby, you can learn off each other, and it's not a competition as such to, who can build the best one, or, as I said, yours is better than mine, mine's better than yours. It's more we can learn off each other. And I've learned a fair bit of, the knowledge I have, I've learned from YouTube. So, hopefully, as I said, I can pass it on to you guys. Now, this build here is a little bit intimidating for me, because, as I said, I went in this with the knowledge that this is not specifically designed for my rig. It's designed for another rig, because there is something that you can buy that's specifically designed for my rig, which is the TRX4 compatible killer body LC70 Land Cruiser, whereas this one is obviously the one that's not. Now, as I mentioned on the previous video, the differences are this one here has a shorter wheelbase. The wheelbase on the killer body LC70 is 323 millimeters, which fits the Land Rover Defender body and also the tactical unit chassis. So it's designed for those two things. And then if you have a TRX4 Bronco and a TRX4 Blazer, what you would have had to have done was get the short to long wheelbase links, the extension links or conversion kit. Whereas with me, in my case, this one here, the DIY body that I purchased from Killer Body with the LC70 Land Cruiser, is shorter than the TRX4 compatible one. So this one's actually down to 313 millimeters. They call it a long wheelbase, but it's a 313 millimeter wheelbase. This non-TRX4 compatible one, which is the DIY, a bit confusing, but so it's shorter in wheelbase, and also it is not as wide. So the width on the TRX4 compatible one is at, I think, 240 millimeters in width, because it includes the fender flares. And this one here, the actual one, is actually the 197 millimeter width. So in trying to guess what that was, I think it is just the fender flares. So I did purchase the fender flares, and I did purchase the TRA 8058 long to short wheelbase conversion kit. So I can actually make this into a short wheelbase now, which basically means on all Traxxas chassis you can actually shorten the rear of it. So what that means is from here I can shorten it by 10 millimeters to suit that body there. Whereas if I had had the opposite, which was the Bronco, which is a 312 millimeter, and then purchased the TRX4 version of that, the LC70, then what I would have had to have done was get the extended links, which would have had to make my 312 millimeter to 323 millimeters. So a little bit confusing there, but hopefully, and I am hoping, fingers crossed, that is the only modification that is needed, apart from obviously having to buy the installation mounting brackets, which are coming from Hong Kong, which will take around about a month to get to me, unfortunately, because it's just, it's just unfortunately the way things are at the moment. So I have to wait for them to come down. But in the meantime, once I finish assembling the body, because I've already got the links to shorten the wheelbase on this, and I've already got the fender flares, I will try and actually install it and make my own mounting brackets. And when those mounting brackets come from Hong Kong, if I don't need them, I can just sell them back on eBay. If not, I can use them on this and then just take out the ones that I made from home. So we'll see. And as long as that is the only thing that needs to be modified and I don't have to break anything on my TRX4, which I will not do. So as far as I understand, these posts, so the mounting posts, have to come out completely. The shock absorbers, there's a couple of options that you can do there. If you're interested in buying the LC70 killer body, you can either opt for the droop package, which from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, would mean me having to adjust where the shock absorbers mount. So from here, they'll have to mount there or there. So they'll be slanted. And then basically what that'll do, because I did try it last week to see how it'll work out. The back end ended up being a little bit higher, but then I'll be reverting back to the standard springs that come with the Proline shock absorbers. As you know, if you guys follow my videos, you'd know that these are Proline shocks, but these are actually RC four-wheel drive King springs. So, and if you watch 2 videos ago, you'll know why I did that. In short, it's because of the weight of my body. It's just a little bit too heavy for the Proline shocks to actually handle, so I had to revert back to the RC four-wheel drive springs. So it's a hybrid between Proline and RC four-wheel drive, which actually does look very, very nice, if I may say so myself. I'm very proud of that hybrid. I'm very happy of how it turned out. Both of them are brand names. So I get to keep the King Spring or the King Shocks brand logo, and I get to have my Proline shock absorbers. So it just works out. I have dry mounted the body. It seems to fit in measurements. It seems to fit. But if you look at... So what I'll be doing, guys, by the way, is I will be fitting the pickup body first. But eventually I will be... Once the wheel arches for this come in stock, because at Killer Body at the moment, the wheel arches that go underneath the tray to give you a wheel arch. They're actually not in stock at the moment. So what I'll be doing is I'll be stocking this away and then using the pickup body for the time being. That's why, as you can see, it's been painted beautifully. And it took me the better part of 3 days to actually do everything properly, because I had to sand everything down first, because I wasn't sure whether it was primed from killer body already or not. So without taking the risk, I just sanded everything down first, primed everything with acrylic primer, and then put the base coat. So with a primary, I primed it, I think, 3 times, 3 coats of primer, and then 4 coats of paint, and then 3 coats of clear on top. And the result is stunning. So it's actually, it looks like it is metal. It looks like it is actually metal, even though this is plastic. So now the wheel arches, for those that are curious, so the only mods I'm doing to this is a light kit. So I've got the light kit already. It will be a right-hand drive, so Australian compliance, because I live in Australia and these things are very much everywhere where I live. So they'll be a right-hand drive vehicle. We'll have a couple of ARB stickers, because I will dress this up to be an ARB demo vehicle. And then the wheel arches, which basically just go on there. You'll notice that the holes on this body here don't match the holes on the wheel arches. And this is a killer body part. So this is something that comes from killer body, as you can see. Okay. Now the reason why is because obviously on the TRX4 version, it is a different body. And I am guessing that because it's a different body, yes, I am right. So you have to drill the holes individually. Okay, so this does come with wheel arches, or fender flares, sorry, but it is a different fender flare. It's the one that is specifically made for the axial body. So I think, yeah, so it is different. It is very much different. So this one here does require a little bit of thinking. So wheel arches cutting position. Wheel arches. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of reading there. I don't want to bore you with this, guys, because obviously the video is ticking away. So that's the wheel arches there that you can see from Killer Body. They will be going on. I will be getting the wheel arches for the tray. And then the TRA8058 from Traxxas, which is basically the quarter link for the diff. I think it's called, where is it? Drive shaft. So it's a quarter link for the drive shaft. Then you've got the links, okay, so the shortened links. And then it also comes with the wheel arches for the Bronco and the Blazer. So this isn't just for people wanting to do the killer body. It's also for people wanting to buy, say, a Blazer body or K5 Blazer body or the Bronco body, and then mount it on their Defender chassis. Because obviously, as you guys know, if you follow Traxxas, the Bronco and Defender and also the Sport, TRX Sport, are shorter in wheelbase. There's 3 TRX4s. There's a couple of TRX4s, which is TRX4 Sport, TRX4 Bronco Blazer, that's 3, TRX4 Defender, TRX4 Tactical Unit, and then TRX6 Mercedes. Oh, sorry, I'm forgetting the TRX4 G500 as well. So there's 7 as far as I can count. 7. Oh, and then there's the self-assembly version of the Sport and the self-assembly version of the Bronco. So there's 9 all up. 9 TRX4s that you can buy as far as I know. Hopefully this has been some insight to you guys in what is possible with this hobby and what you can do. This is this is a project that's taken me over a week now from start to finish. I am obviously feeling myself around. I'm not just jumping into everything quickly and then putting everything together in one day. I guess, I do have the luxury of saying I've got all the time in the world at the moment. So there's the bumper there. with the wheel arches that it does come with, and it does come with 3 holes. So the 3 holes coincide with the 3 mounts on this on these fender flares. So this is made for the actual one. So that explains the 3 holes. Obviously the TRX4 version will have no holes, or even if it does have holes, they will be the small ones to fit these kind of screws. Okay, so this does not come with any hardware at all, guys, just to give you a little bit of warning. Actually it does, sorry, my mistake. It does come with the hardware. So it comes with the screws there, so one less thing to purchase, and it comes with these looking things. Okay, so I think these are what they were saying in the instruction manual to either stick on first before drilling, because it gives you the line of where to drill. Okay, so it's pretty smart. So I'm happy with that. If there's any questions, guys, as those that have sent me questions in the past or asked me questions in the past, you will know that I answer every single question that I get. I think my channel is still small enough to have the luxury of entertaining and answering and having a conversation with each and every person that sends any questions. And I'm happy to talk to anybody who has a question or just to make a comment. Comment on the video, whether you like it or whether you don't. Negative comment, positive comment. Everything makes a difference to me, because then if it's a negative comment, I then know where to improve. If it's a positive comment, at least then I know I'm doing the right thing. So I'm hoping that you're liking the videos that I release. They are boring in some cases, because those that want to see action videos, this is not an action channel. This is more talking. I think I've found my comfortable sense here. There are some videos that I do drive and I do fly, and when those videos can be done, they will be done. It's just, unfortunately, at the moment, I don't have the equipment to mount a camera and then get in front of it and fly or drive for you guys. It's just too hard to do. So normally it's just me and my 4-year-old daughter that do this, and she's not old enough to hold a camera steady for me yet while I either drive and talk for you guys. So for now, for the foreseeable future, it'll just be obviously showing videos like this, but in the future, hopefully that will change. If the channel grows, I can invest in some better equipment and I can make better videos for you. So I'd like to thank you all for supporting my channel, those that watch my videos, those who have recently subscribed. From my heart, thank you so much. It means the world to me that you guys subscribed and also watch. And those that give advice and ask questions, I'd like to thank you all once again as well. So I'll be concluding this video here, guys. Once again, click like if you like, press subscribe if you're new to my channel, if you like the videos, and help me out by telling me where I can improve on these videos, if there's any comments you want to make. But those that genuinely just like the videos, well, thumbs up. Until the next time, guys, please stay safe. Keep your COVID distance and make sure that you remain safe wherever you go throughout this time and this period. Wherever you are in the world, peace and love you all. Take care.